this was the big fight. Ricky Burns has retained his title for lightweight, and he is the champion. So what is my verdict on this fight? So I did a prediction on this, and the challenger Kira Relica looked good. I watched his fights from the material that I seen of him. His idol was Gennady Golovkin, and certainly when he started off in the first round, he was piling under pressure, and he looked very cool. Very cool, and he had a swagger about him with a high intensity in the first round. And I scored that first round to Kyle Relica just for he's putting in he was coming forward, he was dominating the fight, and I think he was throwing some more shots. Ricky Burns, on the other hand, he started off clean, picking his shots and throwing at the right times. Now, the judges scored this fight very closely, and I think that in the first few rounds I would have given it to Kyle Relica, and then Ricky Burns edges it in the middle of the fight. It's definitely, I would give those 4 rounds to him, and then the end of the fight, I thought it was very close. But the judges have scored it very differently and have scored Ricky Burns to win every single round. Now, the fight that I saw and the fight that the fans saw and everyone else saw is clearly different to the one the judges have seen, because I've seen a man, Ricky Burns, fighting on the outside. Don't get me wrong, he was landing some clean shots and he was landing clean shots, but he wasn't pushing Kyle Relica back. To me, Kyle Relica looked like a dangerous fighter, but from the eyes of a judge, maybe they were scoring Ricky Burns on the way how he performed, on the demonstration of his technique and the quality of his punches, and the way he carried himself, because he stuck with a consistent style, and he used that style throughout, which was staying on the outside and throwing precise counter shots, and not letting Kyle Relica get too close. But Kyle Relica was throwing all sorts of shots and was quite unorthodox with his approach, but Ricky Burns seemed to soak up the pressure and managed to get the win at the end. So now he's retained his title, and I think Kyle Relica will be very bitterly disappointed at this performance, because he did look like the more dangerous guy, in my opinion. He was throwing a lot more shots, going to the body, going to the head, and he was quite an unorthodox fighter. But obviously the judges have scored Ricky Burns for his consistent style and consistent combinations, which were when he was throwing, they were precise and accurate. So I think the judges went for that night. So personally, I think that Kyle Relica was dominating the fight, but there were times when his arms were down while he was throwing shots, and I know that the judges, they like to see good form, and in terms of form, Relica definitely was getting the point. So I think between these two, Kyle Relica and Ricky Burns obviously has the more experience, and he was more used to the way how the English and how the judges mark and score, and they obviously thought that his style was more pleasing to the eye, even though Kyle Relica's style seemed to be the more eye-catching, but the quality of punching and the quality of his performance, the judges have scored Ricky to win. So I don't agree with it being unanimously to Ricky Burns, but I do think it was a hard-fought battle which he won and seemed to edge at the end. So now there's big rumours in the air of him to fight Adrian Broner. Now, do I think he's ready for Adrian Broner? Me personally, from that performance, I've seen him fight on the outside, but to fight, is he ready for that step up? What do you guys think? Do you think Ricky Burns is ready to step up to Adrian Broner? Now, Adrian Broner is very much known in the sports, and he's always in the media for lots of controversy. Have you heard the news about him? But he's a slick fighter and a very cool. And I think he would have been watching this fight and brushing his hair or doing whatever he does, because that performance, I don't think it was enough to beat Adrian Broner the way he beat Kyle Rediker, but that would be a different fight, and I'm sure Ricky Burns would adjust his technique. But I think Adrian Broner is better than Kyle Rediker, so if that was to go on, then he would have a fight on his hands, and I would like to see Ricky Burns in that situation. So he's dispatched Kyle Rediker, and he has retained his world title, so that is good to see. And regarding the possible fight with Adrian Broner in December, I will keep you guys posted. But I'd like to hear you guys' opinions. What do you think? How did you score Ricky Burns in the earlier rounds? What do you think of Kyle Rediker's technique? Do you think that it was more eye-catching and it was worthy to be winning? Do you think that he scored more points? Did you think he landed more cleanly? What do you think about Ricky Burns versus Adrian Broner? Do you think Ricky Burns is ready to step up? Do you think he can it's worth it for him to go to America? Because I know if this Ricky Burns has said he will fight anybody for the right money. So I'm not sure about the money for this fight, but he definitely seems confident and looking forward to fighting Adrian Broner. He really wants that fight, and if the negotiation can be put through, then that would be a good one. Eddie Hearns has said that they're looking to. I think it's time for him to fly, ready for him to tour and leave the country and go elsewhere. So it's all looking good for him to fight Adrian Broner. But of course, I'll keep you guys posted. And as I always say, help me out and I'll help you. Give me a like if you like the video, and please subscribe. I'll see you guys in a bit. It's D Valor, and I'm out.